don't like being on my own. I could use someone to hold, and I've been trying to fill the void, but my bed is getting cold. Cause I don't have you, I don't have us, at least not anymore. Hopeless to be holding on.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad that you are here. In today's video, we are going to be doing a quick get ready with me. We're going to chit chat. I'll give you guys some updates on what's happening. And plus, I also wanted really badly to try out the RMS Beauty Uncoverup foundation. So I thought that why don't we just get ready together and kind of see how things go, especially now that my skin is changing with pregnancy. I thought that some of you mamas out there will probably find this helpful because, you know, it's a little bit different when you do your makeup like on a regular and you're kind of wanting to try out some new green beauty products. And these are relatively new, so I thought that we would just kind of give it a shot, get ready, we would chit chat, you know. So grab your tea or your coffee, depending on your caffeine needs, and let's get right into this. So let me just actually take my own advice, and I'm just having some raspberry tea from Stash, and the honey that I'm using, I will show you a close-up of that. It's basically a cinnamon drizzle honey. Oh, so good. Okay, so first and foremost, I would like to, oh, and if you're seeing me looking this way, it's not because I'm ignoring you, but I will actually bring my mirror a little bit closer so I can see myself. First thing I would like to do is just clip everything up, because there's nothing worse than, so I mean, I will look a little insane right now, but it will also ensure that, you know, the makeup doesn't go into my face. So this is not your first impression video because I have already tried this foundation out, so I kind of know how it's performing. And as you can tell, my face, like right now, I just have moisturizer on my face, so I don't have anything else. That's why I'm a little bit shiny. But it comes with this little tool, so it kind of keeps the product a little bit more sanitized, which is lovely. And my shade, if you're wondering, is 22. And when you look at the jar, like look how much darker it looks. The other thing that I would like to mention is that I actually don't just use this on its own. I usually have to mix it in with something else because I enjoy that really glowy oil-like look. So I'm going to be mixing it in with Kosas. So if you've been wondering about both of those foundations, then you'll see them in action. So I just take like a tiny, tiny bit. Hopefully we're focusing. I'm trying to make sure that my lights are not insane right now. I feel like they are a little bit. And then I just kind of dot it all over my face. You will notice that it's a thicker, if you have used their Uncoverup foundation or Uncoverup concealer, that one slides, in my opinion, that one slides just a little bit better than this guy. So hands, like I just kind of dot it all over my face. And then I have to mix it in with this because I really like that it's that runny consistency. If you don't like that, then, you know, then you can skip that. But I always just kind of add a few dots. And my shade in this is 3.5. And I'm just going to use the, what are you? It's the foundation brush from Real Techniques. And we're literally just going to buff that out. And you can see like the crazy discoloration that I get under my eyes. I'm not breaking out too bad, and there isn't too much of a hyperpigmentation that's going on in my skin at the moment. I have seen it, especially during pregnancy. It's quite evident. But see, like you kind of have to like work with this foundation a bit more to buff it in. If you're hearing banging in the background, it is because we have, if you haven't seen the vlog update just yet, I will leave the link of the latest episode below. But basically we're having our basement refinished, so everything was almost a complete gut at this point. So we had the floors ripped up, and we're basically they're stripping off the ceilings and drywalling. So new drywalling is going in. Right now they're going to be ripping off the we also have tile in the laundry room, which is, you know, it's old, it's outdated, so it looks epic. Oh, the other thing to mention about the foundation is just kind of move it down your neck so that and to your ears so that it matches. But see how, like, it just completely, like, now I don't look as crazy as I did. I mean, I look like a ghost. So, I mean, we honestly need to bring some color back into my skin. But other than that, it covers really well. I feel like adding just a tiny bit more on this side. It's like finding that sweet spot of how much foundation you need, because honestly, like, later on I will be at work and I'm wearing a mask, obviously, so then it covers this side of my face completely. And I don't know, like, I've been like really looking at more higher quality foundations because of that, because like I find that my skin needs more moisture, so it not only becomes dry, especially as we're moving into the fall, it's not a good scene. Okay, this seems fairly blended out, so let's move on to concealer. So for concealer, I'm going to be using the new Kosas, and this is in the shade 03. Again, all the stuff that I'm using right now, guys, I will be just linking down in the description, so you can check that out in case like your skin tone is similar to mine. I usually look for foundations and things like that with a yellow undertone, neutral to yellow. Like medium skin tone, neutral to yellow. So I mean, I'm pretty boring in that regard. And to blend it out, I will be using like the smaller sized little sponge. It's not from Beauty Blender. I forget the brand. I think I bought this maybe at the grocery store. I can't remember. Or Walmart. Walmart usually sells these 3-packs where it comes with like 3 different sizes. And just tapping it in until it kind of blends away. But as you can tell, like, I have like a nice sheen going on in my face. And to set, I usually just set my under eyes mainly and my T-zone. Everything else I kind of like to leave as is. I will be using the translucent powder from Well People. This is for all my Canadian friends. If you're wondering where you can find good green beauty products. And to be honest, they're not way more expensive. Like, they're a little bit more pricier than if you were to go and buy something at the drugstore, but it's also a whole lot less toxic than buying your makeup from the drugstore. And honestly, I've been finding that when you go to the drugstores, a lot of their prices, they are kind of increasing, and then by that point, sort of like, why not just buy the cleaner version of that same product? Whether that's a translucent powder or foundation. You know, like the base, the ones, usually like the ones I care about the most are the ones that are going to take up the most amount of space on your face and you're going to be wearing them the longest, you know? You will see me use some conventional beauty products as well, mainly because I have them. And I find that it's kind of wasteful for me to not use them up. But for the most part, like in the last, I would say like in the last year or two, I did manage to replace a lot of my beauty products with green alternatives. And I'm just grabbing, I still have this. This is from Hourglass. This is the bronzer, the diffused bronze light. So this is what she looks like. I'm literally just working away at it, and I'm going to be using a Sonia Kashuk stippling brush. So I just kind of dip in and let's bronze it up. And I kind of go into the jawline. See, like that harsh line, we'll work that away in a second. And a little bit into the eyes. Forehead doesn't really matter too much because I have bangs, so it usually covers my face, but I feel like there's a hair in my nose. So the follow-up since my last video, I'm just sort of, I don't know about you guys, but I'm just sort of feeling like I've been in a funk a little bit. Not so much because of COVID, but because I guess it's just realizing that I'm moving into like this different phase in both in my career and in my life. And we're so excited to have another addition to our family, but at the same time, it's sort of like all the things that you were doing up to this point, it changes drastically. So, you know, like that's always kind of weird. And bronzer on, so we're getting there. Let me zoom out just a little bit. I feel like I look a little crazy still. Don't worry, it'll look relatively normal by the end, I promise. Now I'm grabbing the small little e.l.f. stippling brush, and for blush, I'm going to be using a combination of the RMS Lip to Cheek. This is in the shade Modest. So this is what she looks like. It's sort of like this orangey, peachy pink type of shade. And then I also have this tiny little guy from Milk Makeup, and this is in a shade Work. So this is what she looks like. So I'm literally just going to grab my stippling brush and we'll pick up a little bit of product from both. See, and then you just go to work. No, let's just blend it away. I will say that the RMS, if you're wondering, actually, let's get you zoomed back in. So the RMS, I find is a lot more pigmented. Like they both look nice. They both look lovely. And again, a little bit on the eyes. And a little bit on the lips. Okay, let's move on to eyebrows. For eyebrows, I'm going to be using, oh, it's coming together nice. For eyebrows, I'm going to be using, this is from Nude Sticks. I think, this is their eyebrow pencil and gel. And I think this is in like light brown. I forget what shade it is. It's just a brown. I just kind of outline my eyebrows, and then after that we'll kind of brush it through.
Never knew that I could feel this way, and it's kind of strange. Don't even know your name.
Oh, and in case you guys are wondering, we have Toby here. He says hello. Sometimes he does that when we come back from walks and stuff, especially if it's like a dreary day. He likes to just kind of come to my office and hang out with me, which is, it's so nice. I would just kind of feel like he's coming here because he just wants to hang out with me. Sometimes it has nothing to do with me. I think it's just a comfort thing for him. It's either that or he's running away from Molly. one or the other. If you guys didn't see the update, we bought a new puppy in the summer. Her name is Molly. She's an Australian Shepherd and Aussie mix. And oh my god, like her energy in comparison to an Irish setter is like night and day. And just kind of brush it up, and then I will just add, I mean, like, ooh, this is what the little spoolie looks like, but it just has so much product on it, so I just kind of like to scrape a lot of that off. But I find that the gel kind of keeps my eyebrows in place, and it makes them look like that's how they're supposed to look like. Okay, now for eyeshadow, I'm going to be using non-conventional, like conventional beauty. I could not resist buying this palette, the new Naked Reloaded palette. I saw it, I really liked it, and then I bought like a brand new brush set from Morphe, so I'm quite excited to use it. Getting most of these ready would have been super smart, but you know, that's not how we roll. Sometimes, like, as much as I love green beauty, I have to say when it comes to like eyeshadows, I don't know if you guys feel the same way too, but sometimes I just feel like a lot of the companies that I've been purchasing from, they just like keep it very neutral and very safe. And to be honest, I think maybe like the only company that I've seen that would do a little bit bolder things, mind you, they've only done that with their lipsticks, not so much with their eyeshadow, is actually Clove and Hallow. Other than that, most of the companies that make green beauty products, I just find that like a lot of it just stays in like the neutral range. Like Ilia is like that, Elate is like that, and it's not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's just it kind of leaves you a little bit like longing for more when you like color. And I don't like color all the time, but I like to kind of mix up my tones. So, okay, I'm going to go into just it's basically just a white shade, just so that we can kind of neutralize anything that's going on in my eyelids right now. And also to sort of set any concealer that I might have had left over on my eyes. Let's get you zoomed in so you can actually see up close and personal. Okay, the first shade that I'm going to get into, let's figure that out first, shall we? Let's grab a brush. Okay, I'm going to go into Bugged, which is like this light brownish shade, and we're just gonna put that into the crease. I'm going to keep this super neutral because I don't think we need to complicate it today, especially for work, you know what I mean? And right now I'm more concentrating it right in my eye socket, like right in the crease. I usually like to go above the crease a little bit. And then I'm going to go into Retro, which is like this peachy shade, with that same brush. And I will go slightly above the crease. See how nice and muted, especially for fall. When you have like just a little bit of that color, that's what I want kind of peeking through. Let's go into Reputation, which is this guy right here, with just a flat shader brush. And we're going to concentrate this on just the outer part of the lid. Start bringing it closer to the inner corner.
You said you had to go away just to figure out who you are, and I'm in this.
See how it has like the nice little rustic, like burnt orange type of look? Okay, next up I'm going to go into this golden shade called Barely Baked, and I'm actually going to go and pick that up with my fingers, and I'll just tap it in more on the inner, moving closer to the middle of the lid. Does that look cute? And we'll do the exact same thing on the other side. Sometimes I find that I can get better color payoff, or I can get like more colors, like a deeper color payoff, if I just use my fingers. And then right next to it there is Angel Fire. I don't know if you can pick up the shade, but we'll just tap that right in the middle of the lid. Let that reflect a little bit of light. Okay, now let's go into the lower lash line. I'm gonna go back into Bucked, into that brown, with just a flat shader brush. And I'm going to run that all on the lower lash line.
It's hopeless to be holding on to you.
We could legit just stop here, but we're not going to. And I'm going to grab this really narrowed down, see how it's like a tapered brush? I don't even know where I got this from, but I wanted to go into, we're gonna try going into this deeper shade first called Boundaries. I don't think this is, no, you know what? We're just gonna go into Endgame, into this dark brown. And again, I'm just going to tap that on, really focus it on the outer V. And again, we're going to do the exact same thing. Really focus it on that outer edge of the eye, sort of have that lift effect. Okay, and then we're going to go back in with our blending brush, and we're just going to blend the edges. But sort of blend it upwards. Honestly, guys, if this is like too complicated, you literally just grab a lighter shade and a brown, blend it away, and then you're done. I wanted like a nice diffused fall look, so that's kind of what I'm going with. And honestly, I don't think you can even like really screw it up with like neutrals. You know what I mean? As long as you have something lighter here, and then you kind of diffuse out, you're like good. I feel like the Reputation kind of got lost, so I'm actually going to go into Burn, which is the color like right next to it. And I wanted to tap that on because I really wanted, oh yes. And just tap it on. Like, can you see? Maybe not. Colors are showing up, people. Colors are showing up. Oh yes, oh yes, look how much it's deepening the whole look. Now we'll have to obviously blend it all the way, but that's okay. Okay, let's go in back to our flat shader brush. So then now I'm going to go back into Endgame, which is a dark brown, and I'm just going to focus it on the outer edge. Total. You know, it's so funny, like I've had green beauty products for so long, and I've always been so scared to do like a lot of makeup tutorials because I'm not a makeup artist, you know what I mean? But I'm just a beauty enthusiast. I don't want to crimp my hair so much. Let me just let this out. Okay, now before I move on to mascara, are we good here? Brow bone. Let's just grab our shader brush again. I am cleaning it in between, just so you guys know. There we go. So I'm going to go into this guy, which is, it's called the Bribe. So this one has a little bit of sheen to it, and then Blur, which is just your matte shade. Tap out the excess and really just focus it on the brow bone. You just want a little bit of highlight. Okay, and we will do mascara. So the mascara that I'll be using, nothing special, just use your favorite mascara. I'm using the Lash Sensation because I happen to have it, and again, we're just gonna use it. And after, we'll do lips and we are done. Okay, I'm back. Let me just zoom you guys in just a little bit. So as you can tell, mascara is now on. The only thing I don't like about this mascara, as I'm kicking the I almost said the microphone. No, I'm kicking the camera. They're great, but it just disperses so much product. Like, it's an obnoxious amount of product. So you have to be really careful, because on both eyes, like right by my crease, like it, you know, when it just kind of dabs a little bit of mascara in there, and then it just feels like it's like ruining the entire look. That's how I feel right now. Okay, for lips, I feel like we should go with this guy. I'm using the Support from Rare Beauty. This is, again, very fall look lipstick. See, like, it's kind of nice and dark. So that's just kind of like a tint. Not necessarily like not bad. Oh, one thing I forgot to do with the eyes, otherwise you guys would kill me. I wanted to go back with like a tiny little pencil brush and just pop a tiny bit of Bribe, of that light color, into the inner corner. Just to kind of brighten it up a little bit. And blend it upwards a little bit too. See? So this is now, let me zoom out so you can actually see. This is the finished look. There we go. This is the finished look. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know if you have tried anything from Well People, anything from RMS. RMS has always been like a cult favorite, I find. And honestly, like, whenever I wear their product, it always just looks so stunning on the skin. And I find that it's very, very forgiving. So anyways, comment below, let me know, especially if you're a mama, let me know if you are using more green beauty products, or if you are using more conventional products, or if you're wearing makeup at all. But either way, I hope that you have enjoyed this basic little fall tutorial thing. I know it's been a hot minute since I've filmed like an actual makeup tutorial, even though like I do accumulate a lot of beauty products because I love makeup. So I might, if you guys are interested in seeing more simplified looks and things like that, let me know in the comments. I would love to film it for you. If you have enjoyed this video, you already know what to do. You can give me a thumbs up. You can subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are planning on shooting at least 1 to 2 videos per week. We will see how things go with like new schedules with work and everything. So we're shooting for about 2 videos a week at this point, and see how that one kind of works out. But in the meanwhile, if you enjoy stuff like this, please let me know in the comments so I can make more of that for you guys. And in the meanwhile, hope you guys have a great one, and I will see you guys again in my next video. Bye!